Welcome to the Performance Enhancing Podcast. It's like steroids for your brain. A podcast for people looking to live life at their peak potential. Chock full of real-world tools and knowledge that you can apply in your life today. By providing you with a lens into the lives, beliefs, practices, and actions of those who are already living extraordinary lives, the Performance Enhancing Podcast will help you shift your mindset or create that change in your daily rituals and habits so you can explode with success in the areas of life that are most important to you. So get ready for another dose of Performance Enhancing Podcast with SatoriPrime. Here's your host, Ilan Ferdman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Performance Enhancing Podcast, or PEP Talk, as I like to call them, with your host, Ilan Ferdman. So I'm back. We've been on quite a little tour with Marcy Locke and Guy Ferdman. Heard amazing reviews from everyone. Some people saying it was the conversation that they've been waiting to hear. So I'm super, super psyched. We'll probably have Marcy back on the show at some point, but for now, we'll leave it at that. So anyway, today I'm going solo, and before we get into anything, I want to just invite you guys to a couple of things. One, we are launching our second live event. It is now called the Have It All Live Experience. We've extended it, so it went from being a day and change to now being almost 3 days of full activities. We also have a VIP day for a fourth day option. Anyway, it's June 23rd through the 25th. The VIP day is on the 26th. If you want to attend, it's application only to attend this event. The reason we're doing that is for a few reasons. One, we want to keep this small. And the reason we want to keep it small is because we want to make sure that we have enough time to work one-on-one with you on the areas of life that matter most to you. And in order to do that, we can't really do that with a room of 200 people. So this is going to be a small, intimate event. It's at the Hilton in Del Mar in San Diego. It's a beautiful resort. It's not just a Hilton. It's a beautiful resort right on the water. We're going to have events outside, inside. It's going to be absolutely magical. So a couple of things. One, if you know you want to attend, then just email me immediately, because I'm telling you right now, spots will sell out extremely fast. My email is Ilan, I-L-A-N, @SatoriPrime.com. So email me there. If you want to find out more and have a taste for what this experience will be like, we're actually hosting a webinar later today. So today is Thursday, May 12th. At 5 p.m. today, we have the Have It All webinar. So make sure you register for that and come on there if you want to get a better taste. But if you already know that you want to be a part of it, apply. I'm going to actually go through every single application, get in touch with the people that I think are a good fit. So when you're filling it out, just please make sure you let me know why it's important for you to be there. And that way we can have an intelligent discussion and see if you're a fit, and then talk about logistics and how to get you there. But it's going to be an absolutely mind-blowing experience. We've learned a ton from our previous one on how to make it even better, and we're really, really excited to do that. So today I want to talk a little bit about that vein, which is, what does it mean to have it all, and how do you go about having it all? And so I heard an amazing analogy for those of you guys that follow me on Facebook. And if you don't, you should. I've been doing a lot of Facebook Live things right now and putting up a bunch of videos. So they're like mini pep talks, and I want to talk about one that I shared recently here. So I recently read about a really, really interesting analogy of our lives to a kayak, and I just want to expand on it. So if you think of two parts of your body, okay, there's the conscious part, the stuff that's involved in the doing and the thinking and the strategizing, etc. And then there's this undercurrent that very few people have any access to. And in fact, during our Have It All live experience, this is what we give you access to. And if you've ever wondered why people are able to manifest their goals with velocity, it's because they've tapped into the unconscious. Where most people function is they function at the conscious level. Let me do more. Let me work harder. Let me work later. Let me work faster. All of that stuff. And yet they do that over and over and over again. You might be one of them. And really, that result, that goal is just still at arm's reach no matter what you do. And so the example is this: a kayak, the kind that you row, there's the rowing aspect of it. And then underneath the kayak, there's a rudder. And the rudder actually controls which direction the kayak is going. Now, if your rudder is stuck in a certain direction, for example, I'm afraid of success or I'm afraid of failure. Let's angle that, right? Does it really matter how much effort you put into rowing or how much you try to move? You're never going to achieve the success that you want while the undercurrent and what's happening over there with the rudder is stuck in a bad position. And what most people do is they only deal with what's above the surface. It's like if something's wrong with a plant or a tree or something, it's not anything above the ground. It's at the root level. And where most work lies and most things that people do is they deal with the surface stuff. Our whole education methodology, everything that we teach about mastering your humanity, the ability to have it all in your life, all has to do with what's happening underneath the surface. What's happening in that rudder. And it's a conversation that most people don't have. I mean, when was the last time you spent 3 days dissecting and looking at why you're producing the certain results that you're producing in your life, good and bad? Sometimes the good gives us access to how to alter certain things in our lives, but most people compartmentalize their lives so much. It's like, this is how I am in relationships. This is how I am around my job. This is how I am around fitness. This is how I am with my kids. And what they fail to see is that it's just one. There's just one life. You are living one life. And the breakthrough that you want in your relationships might have to do with an ex or your parents or some breakthrough that you'll have at work. And it all ties into each other. And when you understand how it ties into each other, and when you understand that working on one always represents working on the other, when you understand that instead of doing more or rowing harder or rowing backwards or trying to do these weird things, if instead you look inward through a process and dissect why it is that you're manifesting the same things over and over and over, and how by going through a process you can actually reprogram your emotional states. You can reprogram the way your brain fires so that you can go out and achieve these things. By doing that, you can have it all. You can have everything you've ever wanted in your life. Now, is this something that's for everyone? Absolutely not. And I say that unequivocally, wow, that's a tough word to say, because I've seen thousands of people go through it. This is something that you have to know that you're done with producing the kind of results that you've been producing. You're seriously committed to upping the level of your play this year, not 10 years from now, this year. And you're willing to do the work to make that happen. So like I said, if you know that you're one of these people, then all you have to do is you can go to youwillhaveitall.com and find out all the details there. You can apply there. Again, youwillhaveitall.com. And that's how you can pick up the application and start registering for an opportunity to be a part of this. Now, one other thing that I want you to understand in the way that we create this kind of massive result is, I'm going to get a little nerdy with you here, but I think it'll drive home the point. So most people, imagine that the rudder is a part of our brain called the limbic system. The limbic system is the oldest part of our brain. It's been around for ages. And it's the stuff that made us, or till today, makes you jump every time you hear a loud noise. It's the stuff that saved you from being eaten by large animals back in the day when we were jungles. Unfortunately, not much has changed in our limbic system. And I mean, no one needs to argue the fact that our world is vastly different than we were living in caves or in the jungle or something like that, right? So while that limbic system is great, it's generally the driver for your life. People are run by their emotions. You wake up, you're in a shitty mood, your whole day goes a certain way. You wake up, you're in a fantastic mood, your whole day goes a certain way. Our limbic system's job is to protect us. And what I mean by protect us, it keeps you away from things that scare the shit out of it. Now, here's the problem with that, is that everything that is unknown to your brain is scary. Everything. Now, as we've developed as human beings, we've actually created what we call the cortex, and this is a much more reasoning, logic-based system. The training, the muscle that an elite human being needs to develop is the ability that when the limbic system fires, the cortex, the logic part of your brain, can actually fire very, very soon thereafter. So it almost looks like this, like boom, boom, right? Like they almost fire at the same time. Because what happens to most people is that when the limbic system fires, they buy into that hook, line, and sinker, and it's like a rope tow out to wherever that the limbic system wants to carry you. Now, when the other system fires, when the cortex fires at nearly the same time, now we bring awareness to the matter, and we understand that, oh, wow, this is just some mechanism firing. Let me look at this newly. Let me look at this as the adult that I am right now. I'm 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and let me actually assess if this was a right reaction, if this was an overreacted reaction, if this was I'm just scared out of my mind reaction. What was it, and how, as a logic question, am I going to handle that situation? And so a lot of the exercises we do is to speed up that process, because honestly, that process can take years to develop. But through questioning, through experiential learning, you can actually learn to fire these things pretty close to each other, as close as humanly possible. And what you'll walk away from during the Have It All experience is the ability and the knowledge of how to do that day in, day out, moment by moment, second by second, so that you're no longer at the whim of your limbic system. You're no longer at the whim of a rudder pointing you in the wrong direction. So if you felt like you've done a lot of work and you still can't achieve those goals and you just don't know why, and you're looking out at your future and you're going, man, I keep doing this over and over and over. I keep producing the same results over and over and over. It's time to try something new. Wouldn't you agree? It's time to maybe shift a gear and do something new. Be someone new. So again, I want to invite you to our Have It All Live experience. If you want to register and apply for it, you can do that at youwillhaveitall.com. If you want to come hang out and find out more on what this will look like, then come hang out with us this Thursday, May 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have the link. You can register, and we'll be walking through a few of these exercises, and again, invite you to come join us at the Have It All Live experience. Like I said, we're capping this at 50 people. So these things are going to go by really, really fast. So if you know you're someone that's up to something and you know you're someone that wants to make a shift in your life, I would get on this ASAP. So last thing, Facebook, friend me, watch Pep Talks, and can't wait to share this with you. Can't wait to see some of you here at the Have It All Live experience in beautiful San Diego. And until we speak again, have an amazing, amazing day, my friend.
Did you run through doors till you hit the floor? Did you read my